Stephen is the founder of PitchSync, which is a medtech innovation ecosystem focused on democratizing access to resources and empowering the medical device, medtech, and health innovation industry. She's got 13 years of experience, so Stephen's career has spanned multiple roles. He started as a sales rep and then progressed into internal leadership roles, including things like portfolio management and downstream marketing for Fortune 100 companies, Stryker. His expertise extends both across global and domestic markets, which gives him a really unique perspective on the challenges and opportunities that are within the industry. Throughout his career, Stephen has relied on the power of mentorship and intentional networking to build the platforms that he leads today. And by connecting with industry leaders and learning from their guidance, he actually transformed that vision into a reality, creating PitchSync as a space for startups and consultants to collaborate, innovate, and scale effectively. What began as a passion for empowering others has now evolved into a global platform with clients across the US, London, and Australia. Stephen credits his journey to the mentors who guided him, the relationships that he cultivated, and his unwavering belief in the power of community to drive meaningful change in the medtech industry. And so now we're going to hear from Stephen.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Stephen Flutie-Davis, the founder of PitchSync and Hive, and I'm honored to be here today. I want to talk about something that's deeply personal: perseverance, authenticity, and the power of community. To me, these aren't just buzzwords. They are really the foundation of my journey and, honestly, my business model. So look, I've faced imposter syndrome, anxiety, and often moments of self-doubt, just like many of you might have. But through it all, I've learned that growth comes from staying true to yourself and really pushing through discomfort and surrounding yourself with the right people. So today I want to share my 14-year journey in the medical device world, the struggles, the lessons, and the moments that have shaped me. Because if I have learned one thing, it's this: success isn't about avoiding failure. It's about how you respond to it. And so let's just look at where I began. I really started, honestly, from the ground floor. I got into medical device sales 14 years ago because of my background as an athlete. I suffered multiple injuries and underwent multiple surgeries. I just became fascinated with the entire care process. I knew I wanted to be part of it. I just wasn't a good student, honestly. I didn't have the grades to get in medical school. So my first job, a 1099 sales role, commission only, no salary, no benefits. I worked weekends as a dock master and a bartender just to afford to show up for my job. But I refused to quit. Perseverance really became my only option. Eventually, I worked my way up. I joined a Stryker sports medicine distributor, where two of my mentors and good friends to this day taught me something that changed my entire mindset. You're not a sales rep. You are an extension of the clinical team. Your job isn't selling. It's making sure the doctor, the OR staff, and more importantly, the patient get the best possible outcome. This lesson really stuck with me. It wasn't about making a sale. It was about being valuable, about making a difference. And you had to face a lot of fears and really grow through a lot of failures there. So later, I transitioned into a global marketing manager for Stryker. I developed products, I trained teams, and really was stepping onto a much bigger stage. I thought I had it made, but then reality hit. I was suddenly responsible for speaking in front of thousands of people. I had to teach others when deep down, I wasn't even sure I belonged in that room. And I had a boss who didn't care about my fears. He pushed me. I'll never forget, I had to present at a national sales meeting. Right before I walked on stage in front of thousands of people, he said this, and it'll always stick with me: if you mess up, people will always remember. And that really wasn't the pep talk I was hoping for, but it worked. It forced me to prepare like I never had prepared before. That moment made me realize something. Fear isn't the enemy. Unpreparedness is. And if you do the work, If I over prepared, the fear loses its power. So overcoming anxiety was a big part of that role, but there's other things we have to overcome. And let's talk about one of those. Imposter syndrome. It's real. I still have moments where I ask myself, am I really the right person for this? Do I deserve to be here? Even preparing for this, there were so many impressive people that have spoken in the past, and I'm asking myself, what did I deserve to be here? But here's the truth. Imposter syndrome only wins if you let it. Recently, Ingrid and I did a podcast discussing this, and we talked about how anxiety and self-doubt can either consume you or fuel you. It's a choice. The negative talk can really derail your thought process, your career, and your personal life. So for me, the key was acknowledging it instead of running from it. I knew I had to prepare more than anyone else. I had to recognize that fear means I'm growing. Surround myself with people who push me. Put myself in situations that push me to grow. And again, when I was preparing for this, I thought to myself, am I the right person for this? Why am I here? But there were so many great speakers that I listened to and learned a lot from. One of them talked about her former boss. This was a now current founder. Her former boss had a saying that stuck with her, and that was press on regardless. That stuck with me. So progress isn't always linear. Sometimes it's slow. Sometimes it's frustrating. But you keep moving forward. Because the only way to fail is to stop trying. A major part of what's driven me and allowed me to get to be the levels that allowed me to be where I'm at is the power of community. And there's one thing I learned is you don't succeed alone. I never realized how important community was until I truly leaned on it. My mentors, colleagues, and even unexpected supporters have played a massive role in my journey. Today, this group has played a massive role in my journey, and I thank them for it. You know, people believe in you before you even believe in yourself. And when you surround yourself with those kinds of people, it changes everything. And that's why I built Hive. It's a space for collaboration, for mentorship, and education. You leave the egos at the door. You come and be authentic. Not because I have all the answers, though. It's honestly because I needed that kind of support myself, and I was hoping to provide that for others. And if I could do that, I feel like I can help people. And if I could do it authentically, I feel like we would all win. So early on, I thought my company had to look bigger than it actually was. I wanted to sound like we had it all figured out, like we had this phenomenal strategy. But honestly, real momentum came when I stopped trying to be something we weren't. I just started having genuine conversations. People responded to authenticity, not to branding. They valued sincerity over some elaborate scripted pitch. The best marketing strategy I ever had was being myself. And I encourage you to do the same. Because the world doesn't need another, quote, perfect version of someone. It needs the real version of you. So one thing that has really also helped me immensely in really trying to overcome, am I here? Am I the right person? Am I growing? Am I doing the right things? Has been reflection. So daily, I ask myself, what did I learn today? Where did I push myself? What small improvement can I make tomorrow? Growth isn't about giant leaps. It's about small, consistent steps. And if you take anything away from today, let it be this. Stay mission-driven. Your North Star helps you cut through the noise. Embrace discomfort. The biggest growth comes out of being uncomfortable. And really lean on your community. The right people will push you forward. So we wrap up in our final thoughts. I want to leave you with something that's helped me prepared for this, and that is a phrase: press on regardless. If you're facing obstacles, whether that's imposter syndrome, setbacks, or fear, you're not alone. You have two choices. You can either let the fear hold you back, or you can use it to propel you forward. So get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And most importantly, show up as your authentic self. Thank you.